having me in the discussion, and thanks to give the opportunity to express my thoughts. Yeah. Coming back to this question about the biggest challenges we are facing today in the chemical industry about while we move towards the digitalization. I think, as we know, today in industry everywhere, yeah, and the main focus is on the cost optimization. And in today's European scenario, if you see, especially in the chemical industry, because of the energy prices are gone high, the cost of the production has also gone high, right? And then the main focus again comes to the cost optimization, and then there in the digitalization, I think the easy way, immediate way or quick way to optimize it, the cost is by moving your server or data storage or data processing to the cloud. Yeah, this will really help us maybe to optimize the IT capital and also operating cost. And again, we know today's world, the flexibility is also important. So this will also give us the flexibility to scale our technology because there are so many times we have seen their business changes. The business requirements are changing very frequently. Again, with this, I believe the challenges which we see are about the data protection, and because how the data that is safeguarded, how it is protected. And for this, I believe very importantly, then you need to have your technology. The cybersecurity team should be equipped with very advanced technology and with advanced latest tools to manage these digital threats. This is a very good question indeed. This is a very important question. It is a common across all the industries about the silos and different platforms, because this topic is linked to the legacy systems. We know that there are so many legacy systems which are still running in most of the organization. Even in BASF we do have, and those legacy systems are again very critical. You cannot touch those systems. In many instances, we know that there are business owned applications in our IT scenario. In IT world, we call it as a shadow IT. These business applications which are running in silos or in different platforms, they are like reducing the transparency and also reducing the productivity. Same times, the operating cost is also increased because of such scenarios. Yeah. In my experience, if we really want to work on these problems, and with my previous companies and even BASF, we try to do that. We have the different data source and touch points, right? Try to make a single source of truth, create a centralized data management tool. And this can be achieved with there are different ETL tools which we have, the extract, transform and load tools. And that automation of data flow to create a single data source will really help to address this kind of a problem. Because then the data accuracy will also increases because there will not be different data points for the same data source. Cybersecurity in all the organizations are very critical aspect, and it's kind of a make and break kind of a scenario, right? Or for our digital transformation effort here. Again, for every company, this is a very top priority in terms of to protect their own digital assets and intellectual property and customer data. In BASF, we have different processes which we have followed, right? To ensure we are protected, we have implemented different tools for firewall or intrusion detection, or even kind of some level the XDR, also the extended threat detection. Yeah. In the beginning, whenever we identify or try to evaluate any of the SaaS product or third-party product application, we normally undergo with the vendor assessment. And we have a policy in BASF, which is called the LISA, which is nothing lean information's security assessment, where we do the vendor assessment along with the different parameters which we have and which address the threat levels and also create kind of a business critical scorecard by which I think we try to evaluate and try to implement the right steps to protect the data and also protect the different entities or digital entities which we have within BASF. Yeah. We know in today's world, I think technology's speed of evolving is too much, right? In some reports, we have, I remember reading that the technologies grow by 2x every 18 months in processing capacity. So when we, in terms of the expediting the digitalization in BASF, I think, as you know, in BASF, we also have the research and development, which plays a very key role. So digitalization is very crucial, in terms of to staying in competitive, and therefore our strategic action areas, we have to take some stay ahead of the competition. So technologies in BASF like augmented reality, machine learning, or cloud computing, even AI, are creating a great customer experiences. And again, those are very efficient, but same time, we also see that there are challenges to implement such a technologies. To adopt any new technologies, there are a few points which we really need to analyze. How relevant is the solution as on date? The relevancy, important factor here. What is the scalability of the product or the tool which we identified or technology which we identified, how long it is going to stay? If I need to scale it up, will it scale it up, or do I really need to go back and find the new product or tool? Again, that is the second question. How secure this tool is, or technology is? Will it protect my data? Will it protect my information, which is very important? Or do I really need to take some steps to ensure the data security and protection? How the data is stored, where it is stored, and all those aspects, which is again very common in everything. And what kind of infrastructure is required to be there? What would be and very important, what would be the cost of that? Do we have that infrastructure, or do we really need to go on cloud or maybe rent it or something, whatever? So that infrastructure as a service or platform as a service. So what kind of a thing we really need to take it in terms of the technology which we are going to adopt. So that is very important. In terms of the change management or in terms of the, I think, challenges to navigate those technologies, I think very important part, the senior management should be aligned on this. They need to make it agree about adaptation of the solution and why it is required and what would be the ROI on those. And the change management which IT has to implement, because you see there are different users are using the legacy technologies or things, right? So unless and until you have a strong change management about the changes which we are implementing, about the technology which we are putting, right, and to help to train them and create their mindset towards the positive approach, right, to adapt to this new technology, this cannot be useful. You may have good technologies, you may have good solutions, but unless and until the users are using it with the right potential, and then these technologies and the solutions will not create the same impact which you thought of while you were implementing it. So the change management is very important for the users. Yes, it did. So what is happening nowadays, right? I think the digitalization is a word where everyone want to maybe start with, I don't know, because of pressure of to be get digitalized, or they were so excited with some ideas and they really want to jump on the digitalization wave, right? Say there are industries or the companies where really want to implement quickly, right? Deploying the AI chatbot or automation kind of a things. So this is sometimes I feel it's my own way of interpreting it or saying it or seeing it is about, it's called the shiny object syndrome. But one should understand while the transformation, whatever we want to do as a digitalization part is no longer a nice to have. Again, because of the current scenario where the cost is very important, at least in BASF scenario, right? But very necessarily for just, I think it is kind of an, if only if it creates any value or ROI, I think the business should go for the digitalization. It is very crucial that again, when you do it something, right, try to see what ROI we are getting it, right? And then deploy it properly. Don't do the big bang approach. I think going with incremental approach will help it. Be agile and flexible. And when these technologies we are implementing, there are different factors, external factors we need to consider while we are doing it, like the cyber criminality or spying or sabotage, those kind of a different angle we need to evaluate before going with those technologies. So in terms of BASF, we are really trying to find the way how we do it and implement it, right? And so we do multiple steps, we take multiple steps and evaluate those things and risk and try to minimize those risks also. The standards, roles, and the standards and regulations, I think to answer this, when must, I think I to go back to the period during the pandemic, I think that time it made us realize the importance of the standards and regulations. Yeah, why it is important and how it is important. And also the collaboration by digital tools. I think that was the world when the people have started digitalization so quick, and all those roadmaps which were there for next 5 years, people like try to do it quickly and try to implement it as quick as possible. I believe that data privacy, security, and ownership are the important parts of the digital regularization. Yeah. Again, using a different internal social networking tools in BASF, we use the Yammer and MS Teams. It helps us in fostering collaboration, again, creating a communities and building a sense of belonging and trust. And also it creates a rapport among the teams. And this is very important part of any digital technology while we implement it, right? So this really help, I think, to again be successful in the digital implementation of any digital technology and making it aware and making it useful for the company.